The movie starts with a group of young people hanging out by the sea at night. They're all staying up late, laughing, playing games, and lighting a bonfire. There's a girl named Sarah who's there with her friend Barbara. Everyone's having fun, and they start a little contest to see who can jump over the fire without falling. The next morning, the coach walks into the dorm and wakes everyone up. That's when we find out they're at a summer camp getting ready for a sailing competition. The coach asks his assistant, Lorenzo, to show everyone how to use the boats and how to work with the wind. But Lorenzo explains something wrong and Sara corrects him in front of everyone. At the end of the day, the coach tells them all to head to bed. But later that night, Sara notices fireworks lighting up the sky. She asks Lorenzo about them, and he tells her it's part of the end of summer festival that happens on the island every year. Sara looks at him and says, "You've been coming here for 4 years and you've never gone to the festival?" Lorenzo smiles, takes her hand and says, "Come on, let's go before the coach finds out." They sneak out of camp and try to reach the island, but they can't make it across. Instead, they find a little restaurant and decide to go inside. The owner tells them the festival's happening on the other side of the island, so they stay there, have dinner, and end up dancing together. When they finally get back to camp, the coach catches them sneaking in. The next day, during practice, Sara falls out of her boat and hurts her leg. She goes back to her room to put some ice on it. Lorenzo comes by to check on her. Later, the camp ends and everyone heads home. Sara asks Barbara not to tell her mom about her fall. When Sara gets home, she's eating something, then picks up her plate and walks to the kitchen, but she drops it. She sits down on the floor holding her leg in pain, the same one that hurt at camp. Her mom rushes her to the hospital, and her dad, who just got back from a trip, joins them there. The doctor tells them that Sara's muscular dystrophy has gotten worse. It turns out she's been getting treatment for it for a while. Feeling sad and alone, Sara goes for a walk and talks to Barbara. She tells her that soon she won't be able to walk anymore. Meanwhile, Lorenzo is getting ready for a race. On the first day of school, Sara and Barbara are about to go home when Lorenzo shows up outside, waiting for Sara. He calls her over and asks how she's doing. Sara says she's fine. Lorenzo also says he's called her a bunch of times, but she never answered. Sara tells him she's just been busy. Right then, Sara's mom shows up and Sara and Barbara get in the car. But before they leave, Lorenzo tosses his phone to Barbara through the window and calls it so he can talk to Sara again. They meet up later and he takes her to a museum that his mom used to take him to when he was little. Inside, they walk into a big hall, lie down on the floor, and stare up at the ceiling. The ceiling looks like an open sky with birds flying above. When they get back home, Sara's dad sees them together. The next day at school, Barbara asks Sara if she's told Lorenzo about her illness. When Sara says no, Barbara tells her she should, but Sara gets upset and walks away. Later, Sara's parents pick her up straight from school and take her to the hospital again. The doctor decides she should go to a rehab center. She starts training with the doctor, but she's in a lot of pain. After one of her sessions, Sara meets up with Lorenzo again. During a party, Lorenzo's dad calls out to him, asking if he's going to be home late. Lorenzo tells Sara it's just the club's repairman, not his father. In the next scene, Lorenzo and Sara go down to the beach. Lorenzo holds her in his arms, but when he sets her back down, her leg starts hurting again. Later, during her rehab session, Sara tells her doctor what happened, but the doctor misunderstands and thinks she's talking about Lorenzo himself. The doctor tells her, if someone really loves you, they'll accept you just the way you are. Those words stick with Sara, and she decides to finally tell Lorenzo the truth about her illness. But when she gets home, she sees Lorenzo's bike parked outside. Inside, she realizes her parents have already told him everything. Sara tries to explain that she was planning to tell him herself, but Lorenzo gets upset and storms out of the house. Lorenzo goes home and talks with his aunt. He admits he's scared that he won't be able to handle loss the way his father did after losing his mother. His aunt tells him that his father chose to live with that pain. Just then, his father walks in and says, "There's a girl outside waiting for you." Turns out, Sara has come to the club asking about the club repairman. His dad smiles and tells him to go see her. Lorenzo goes downstairs and talks with Sara. They make up, and Lorenzo borrows a boat from one of his dad's friends. They spend a whole day together, exploring a cave by the sea. That night, when Sara comes home, her mom asks why she left school without telling anyone and stayed out so late. The next day, Sara's waiting for Lorenzo on the street, but he's late, busy training for the upcoming race. Suddenly, Sara starts feeling sick and collapses. She's rushed to the hospital. When Lorenzo finds out, he hurries there, but Sara's mother stops him and angrily says, "We already told you what her condition is. Stay out of her life. She can't live like other girls do." Sara returns home, and Barbara visits to make peace with her. The two talk in Sara's room, and Sara tells her everything. Lorenzo keeps calling, but she doesn't pick up. She goes back to the rehab center to continue her therapy, and finds out that the little girl she used to train with has passed away. The news completely breaks her down emotionally. Meanwhile, Lorenzo is looking for his teammate who's supposed to race with him, but finds him drunk and passed out at a party. Frustrated, Lorenzo goes to his coach to ask about finding a replacement. The coach, in a cold, insulting tone, says, "You're just a poor kid who can't even afford a life jacket. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be here." Those words hit hard. Lorenzo packs up his things and quits the club. Right then, his phone rings. We cut to Sara, who's out shopping for clothes with her mom. While she's trying on a dress in the fitting room, she suddenly sees Lorenzo standing outside. Turns out, her mom had called him, asking him to come see Sara because she'd been feeling worse since the little girl's death. Her mom invites Lorenzo over for dinner, and he brings flowers. After they eat, Lorenzo shows Sara a flyer for a sailing competition hosted by his dad's friend, the same guy who lent them the boat before. He tells her she should take his teammate's place and race with him. At first, Sara's worried about her health, so she goes to talk to Barbara about it. Barbara encourages her, saying, "You've won so many trophies before. This one's nothing for you." Sara and her parents then go to the doctor to ask if she can participate. The doctor warns it might make her condition worse, but finally gives her medical clearance. On race day, Sara and Lorenzo arrive at the competition. The first day is all about training and preparation. On the second day, the race begins. Sara's nervous at first, but with Lorenzo's support, she gets on the boat. They finish third place, but at the end, Sara loses her balance and falls into the water. The boat flips over with her. A few months later, Lorenzo visits Barbara. She gives him a small box. Lorenzo takes it to the museum where Sara and he once went together. He walks into the hall, opens the box, and takes out Sara's necklace. Then, he lies down on the floor, looking up at the ceiling, the same ceiling painted like an open sky with birds flying overhead. The film ends there.